I'm Aaron with the Pickleball Clinic. I'm here with Patrick Smith, one of the top doubles players in the world. Thanks for being with me.
No worries.
So I wanted to ask, you've been a top player for about 3 years now. The game has changed. A lot has happened in the last couple of years. So I'm curious, since you started playing the sport at the pro level, what changes have you seen occur?
There's a lot more driving going on, but I think when Jay and I started playing, we were one of the teams that were driving a lot initially, especially in doubles. And I think that power and speed just has changed and translated into it because a lot of tennis players have come in more and just lends itself to our, tennis skill set.
Yeah.
So the game overall has just gotten faster.
Absolutely, and you do have a really high-level drive. It's probably one of your weapons. So I'm curious, what strategies do you use to maximize your drive? Any special technique? How do you really hit the drives the way you do?
Keys, you have to really get low and stay low, right? And then it's difficult to create a lot of topspin with the paddle and the ball. So it's almost more, I think about it more hitting slightly from the side of it a little bit. Because it's very difficult to get low to high on that ball as much. So you really have to kind of almost lift it from the side to create a little more top side spin / side spin, in my opinion, or that's at least what I try to do to get into dip. It's hard to really swing full speed at it because obviously the ball goes out to 80% and 85% pace. And what you can do is probably the best option.
So the game has been evolving to add a lot more drives. If you had to take a guess on what the game might look like in, let's say, 10 years, what would you say?
That is a great question. It'd be interesting to see if the technology changes. Then, I mean, if kind of like in tennis, when it went from wood rackets to graphite to carbon, whatever, it just depends on what the ball can do. I hope it doesn't change too much because it takes away from the actual game.
Yeah.
So I think it's just going to get faster and faster.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Right. I'd love to hear you talk about the best or most exciting doubles match you ever played.
Most exciting? Oh boy. I mean, there's been a couple. We played Ben and Colin a lot last year, and we beat him in Atlanta in 3 last year.
It's a big one.
But probably that was obviously a great one. But the most exciting one probably the final last year in Arizona when Jay and I first PPA of the year, and we had match points against them, and we got double dipped in the end, unfortunately. But it was a fun match. Right. There was a lot of body bags. We were talking about it earlier. I think we all 4 of us got hit more than ever before in that match, and we got Colin to throw his hat and paddle a bunch of times, so that was pretty funny. Nice. I would say that was probably, even though we lost that one, probably the most exciting one for us.
What are the keys to a strong doubles partnership?
Chemistry.
Chemistry.
I mean, obviously you need skill set, but chemistry is more important than anything else. You can't win it by yourself. You can lose it by yourself. So you really need a partner that is there for you and complements your game. But you can put the 2 best players on paper together, and they're not going to be the best doubles team. Right.
So what's really interesting is a lot of the top pros, including yourself, have completely other lives outside of pickleball with full-time jobs. So, I know you have a very interesting business outside of pickleball. I'd love to hear you talk a little bit about it.
Yeah, so I'm the CEO of a small aesthetic company. We do hair transplants with a surgical robot. So I help a lot of bald guys to have a full head of hair again, if possible.
Hopefully I'm not in that boat, but I may be giving you a call in a couple years.
Yeah. I mean, so far you're still good, I think.
Yeah. And then last question I like to ask a lot of the top players, why do you love pickleball?
It's such a pain in the ass, to be honest with you, that it's addicting because some of the mistakes you make is like, how is that even possible to miss that ball? Right. And I just love the competition, honestly. Yep. And I do love firefights, so I get kind of bored when the thinking kind of bores me a little bit every now and then.
Absolutely.
But just the competition of it and just wanting to get as good as possible at this, and that thrill alone keeps me going.
Well, we'll be there rooting for you. Thanks so much, Pat.
Thanks, man.